Hello one, hello all, it's list week. We're gonna get into it. We last left off with EPs. Now we're gonna go into the worst singles of this year. Ho, worst singles. I hope I'm not on that list. No, I'm putting songs on the list, not people. Alright, well, if the ladies or the MBs want a piece of me, I'm right here. Right, well, anyway, this is the list of the songs I thought were the absolute worst. Of course, I do have a few internet songs, which we will get into, but it's mostly singles, but I did add some viral songs as well, because those were equally terrible. Let's get into it. Starting at number 14, we have Colleen Ballinger with Toxic Gossip Train, where Colleen addresses some very serious allegations in a very unserious way, with a ukulele for 10 minutes and 20 seconds with the most annoying, most goofy theater kid song response I've probably ever heard. And it is terrible, it is trash, and it's made it on this list. At number 13, it's Anna Indiana with Betrayed by This Town. And I know it's an AI song, but Lord, is it one of the worst. Not only does this track sound so fake and lifeless, but it's not even good in the traditional sense. The playing sounds off at points. The singing sounds off at points. Actually, mostly through this track. Like, how did we get fake instrumentation? How did we get fake vocals and they sound off? Like, what has happened here? This is an epic fail. And you know, I get AI music. It could be fun. It could be fun to make fun of another singer with AI music. But this sounds like singer-songwriter erasure with fake piano, fake vocals, and I regret hearing it. And I truly and honestly hope this is not the future of music. After that, we have Fall Out Boy's version of We Didn't Start the Fire, as they single-handedly ruin a classic. For one thing, the instrumentation doesn't add much flair or magic that the original had, and lyrically, it's a mess. Nothing aligns well at all, and it's kind of gross with these side-by-side events like war in baseball games, putting George Floyd, a victim of police brutality, alongside a video game, Metroid. Like, can we please get it together or not do a rendition of this song at all? There are some things, I guess, that are assembled well in this song, but it's mostly a mess. It's mostly haphazardly put together. And I know they didn't start the fire, but they certainly set the dumpster fire to this one. At 11, it's Kodak Black with No Love for a Thug. Easily one of the worst songs yet. Easily his worst song yet. The vocals are hideous. Like, they're so bad, it actually sounds like the backing vocals are trying to run away from the main vocals. And the production, it's so fake, and it sounds like Kodak is trying to be sad on this, but he's forcing the sad. He sounds so emotionally flat, so robotic, so comatose, and it sounds like he's slipping in and out of sleep. Like, what is going on here? And that's not all. As the track continues, the backing vocals are pitched and sound so obnoxious. And conceptually, it's aimless. There's a gross anti-vax bar in here. Like, are you kidding me? Saying someone died from the vaccine after a bunch of research, numerous research, no one has died from the COVID vaccine. And with the uptick we have now, definitely not the best time to do this and say this. But yeah, this is a weak attempt, weak execution of giving someone an invitation to a pity party only an idiot would accept. At number 10, we have TX2 with I Would Hate Me Too. If you wanted to hear flavorless guitars and drums and obnoxious vocals, I'm a fuck boy, dirt bag
piece of shit.
Overly cringe lyrics, then look no further than this song here, as he gratingly expresses how much of an asshole he is, how much of these terrible things that he is, not realizing that he is not above the fray for this. He is not an anomaly for this. He is just a face in the asshole crowd. And it's one I just want to look away from, turn away, and just leave it there. At number 9, we have none other than Donald Trump and the Jan 6 Prison Choir with Justice for All. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it either. As they've gone from doing these terrible things to going behind bars to being in front of a microphone to record this awful ambient faux dramatic rendition of the national anthem. The vocals are way flat. They just sound so fried and a mess. It's almost laughable. Actually, it is laughable. But do not worry, Donnie does not sing on here. No, no, no. In fact, it's just him reciting the national anthem. Jesus Christ. At number 8, we have Meghan Trainor with Mother. And I swear to God, the old-timey, vintage 50s revisitation done in a clean, tasteless, sanitary way needs to die. I am sorry, but it does. It didn't work with Let's Marvin Gaye and Get It On, or the other horrible song, All About That Bass, as Mr. Sandman, another classic, is completely ruined here. The vocals sound so processed, and I get it, misogyny is terrible, it's bad. But wanna know what else is bad? This song. The virtue signaling, the cliche lyrics. And not to mention with her being a cishet woman and appropriating a term from the queer community and just parading around with it and using it for capital gain. Gross. And speaking of gross, we have at number 7, Lil Mabu and Krishan Rock with Mr. Take Ya Bitch, as he teams up together with the mother of Blueface's child and makes the ultimate cry for attention as he tries to gain relevancy again to take this situation with Blueface and his baby mother and create this drama, because once Lil Mabu went the conscious side, what happened? His views tanked, and now he's trying, just trying to get back up to the top by using this situation for clout. And guess what? The song sucks, the bars are terrible, it's just all around terrible. Talking about taking Blueface's baby, which is kind of concerning, but also concerning, is Forgiato Blow with Boycott Target, as he does what conservatives do best, which is create this LGBTQ plus boogeyman about how they're coming for your kids. And the production is trash, the hook is annoying, it's just gay trans panic that you would have to be an idiot to believe. But unfortunately there are idiots here who believe it and who eat this up, and that is the problem when it's done on a main scale, and are completely out of touch with reality when it comes to the queer community. And speaking of no sense of reality, we have Oliver Anthony with Richmond North of Richmond. Now, it's not a stretch to say workers are exploited. That's absolutely true. The problem is the blame and the hatred is geared towards marginalized groups here. When he starts going after people on welfare, when he starts going at immigrants, and trying to bring back the horrible racial segregation of North versus South. Just bringing up white supremacy dog whistles, which are definitely on this list. There's a lot of songs on here that deal in that, but we'll get to that. But yeah, this song is riddled with them that you would have to look into, where he's basically bringing up the white supremacist tropes here, saying like, Well, I know the reason your life is so bad. It's the marginalized groups, man. The marginalized groups are doing this. It's the people on welfare. It's the fat people eating fudge rounds. When in actuality, if you really look at it, that is not the cause of people's troubles and struggles. But of course, the right doing what they do is weaponizing false narratives and just aiming it towards the marginalized and people who are actually suffering and people who have it worse, in saying that the reason you're not getting ahead is because of them. And once you touch reality, you realize it's not the case. And also the right ran with this thing. They had this in a GOP debate. And the fact that he could turn like a blind eye and say, oh no, this isn't political, when in fact it is political. So maybe the guy's just stupid. I don't know. But I kind of refuse to believe that when the song was funded by a conservative to make this song. And at number 4, we have Ye with Vultures featuring Bump J, Ty Dolla $ign, and Lil Durk. You know, you would think at this point Ye has come to the understanding of knowing when he's wrong, or saying that he's put himself into this position where he says, you know what, I should probably ease back. You know what, I should probably apologize and give like a real apology, and also address the white supremacist talking points that I've been saying for the past few months or so. But no, he denies it with these super gross anti-Semitic bars and a Columbine bar. Really, Kanye? A Columbine bar? It's easily some of the worst bars I've probably ever heard him lay on a track. Maybe the worst bars I've ever heard him lay on a track. And the beat sounds so cheap. Bump J sounds asleep at the wheel on his verse. He sounds like a very comatose Kanye, if I'm being honest. And Ty Dolla $ign's vocals are hideously mixed. What is up with this? It sounds like he's singing from a drive-through speaker. But yeah, at this point, I don't think there's any hope for Ye, and I don't know if I'm going to take a deep dive into the next album, honestly. And speaking of no hope, we have at number 3, Falling in Reverse, Watch the World Burn. You know, when it comes to emo, I have my share of negative opinions on the mainstream stuff, except for MCR. MCR is fucking awesome. We do not diss MCR here. Well, maybe their later releases, but classic MCR, no. Give me that Black Parade, 3 Cheers, I Brought You My Bullets, fantastic. But I've also had my criticisms of Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, but there is no band that I would just rather forget exist than Falling in Reverse. Where I would rather listen to, when I would rather hear Brandon Urie obnoxiously sing in a theater kid way over rock and roll throwbacks. I would rather hear that than this song here, because this song, let me tell you, is absolute garbage. And probably not as cringe or disgusting as the heaping pile of shit that Ronnie and the Boys has come up with, where Ronnie is just punching at air while making these massive claims that he knows what people in the industry are doing. He could expose them, when he's really throwing stones at a glass house with his abuse towards women, his transphobia, and how much of an asshole and piece of shit he is. And with him making all these claims, I'm like, are you sure you're not talking about yourself, Ronnie? Are you sure you're not talking about yourself? And the speedy rap verses are so obnoxious, and the group vocals, the group sung vocals, are absolutely insufferable. And it is just mind-blowing that they have fans. Actually, no, it's not, because people have bad taste. There are people with bad taste. And speaking of bad taste, we have Dax To Be a Man. And man, people got at me very hard, very aggressively for disliking this song on TikTok. As cringy conservative rapper Dax from Canada proves to be one of the worst rappers and songwriters out right now. Actually, he's not really rapping on this, he's singing on this in a faux country way, and it is just goofy and stupid, but not as stupid as the lyrics that he lays on here. With this stigma of men can't show emotion and they have to be lone wolves out there. Brr. As Dax tries to gaslight you into thinking it's a written law for men not to show emotion and how men are oppressed for being men. And how you can't show emotion, how you have to live up to the patriarchal standards. And also, let's be honest here, he's talking about cishet men, he's not talking about men in the queer community, he's not talking about any of that. He's trying to really push that men's rights agenda, which mitigates the people who are actually suffering right now from oppressive laws, such as trans women and women who do not have the right to bodily autonomy, and he is just focusing that and mitigating that, creating a gross diversionary tactic to make you feel sorry for men. It's misogynistic, it's gross, it's gaslighting, and I truly and honestly hope no one else falls for this. And don't get me wrong, there are men who are oppressed, but they're not oppressed for being men. There are other things they are oppressed for, whether it's their sexuality, race, or maybe income. But it's not for the sole purpose that you're a cishet man. Can we stop being stupid? At number 1, we have a song that I believe went number 1 on the charts and then dropped. Thank God. Not a religious man, but I thank God for this. Jason Aldean, Try That in a Small Town. And no wonder the right and conservatives and racists held this song, this precious gem of a song, in their opinion, so tightly and protected it with their racist, bigoted soul. Because this thing is loaded with dog whistles, fear-mongering, and we know who this is targeted for, saying try that in a small town, where if you look into the lyrics, none of these are really crimes. None of these should be punishable, like flag burning, and let's be honest, where we're doing all this military defense spending, and also we can't have healthcare here. We can't have these solutions that could help marginalized groups, or everyone for that matter, but we could fund the military to bomb innocent children. And you want to start, and also, again, the oppressive laws towards the LGBTQ plus community, and also women having their bodily autonomy stripped away, police brutality, and America just lets that fly. And you want to get at someone for burning a flag, which is not illegal at all. And also taking shots at BLM protests, which, guess what, isn't illegal. I thought you guys were for free speech. Guess not. And trying to sell you on the idea that he's not racist, where there are so many racist tropes pushed here with so much fear-mongering. Again, so many racist dog whistles. If you don't know your research on, you're gonna fall for the propaganda. And yeah, song's terrible. Song's trash. Song's awful. And it is my worst song of the year. Yeah. So those are the worst songs of the year. Top 14 worst songs of the year. What do you think of these tracks? Let me know. Caspa, Gothic Ghost, worst tracks 2023. Till we meet again.